is a paid program. Advice and opinions expressed during this program are solely that of Heiar Insurance, not WBEV or Good Karma Brands.
I almost busted out a chair dance here in the Daily Dodge TV
Wow.
studio, and then I saw the lights and the camera go on. There will be none of that. Good morning and welcome to Senior Solutions here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Senior Solutions with your Heiar Insurance team. This is the time we get together every Friday to help you with big life things that you are not expected to know the ins and outs of, because it's a lot when you're getting ready to plan for retirement, when you're ready to retire. Call Heiar. It is a lot trying to figure out that Medicare journey. Yes, it's magical. It's an exciting start to a whole new phase of your life. It's complicated and always important to know what your insurance options are, whether it's for health, long-term care, life, dental, just a few things that your Heiar Insurance team can help you with. And Matt Heiar with us here today, ready to help you. So he'll answer your questions. That's part of what you're going to do, right, Matt?
Yes, that's what I'm told.
All right, 885-4446 is the studio line for your questions for Matt, 885-4446. And you can also text us at 887-9595. Our text line is 887-9595. And a big thank you to Corey Sparks, who is producing Senior Solutions today, keeping an eye on the text line. Hi, Matt. Welcome to the Daily Dodge TV studios and the Slumberland Furniture Studios. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I am well, and we were just chatting up before we hit the air like we always do, and somehow music made its way into the conversation. Oh, Dern came down and asked if we wanted a song to kick off the show with. So we're talking a little bit about music. I'd asked, what do you like to listen to? You have very taste. You like all kinds of music, just like me.
Yep.
And you've never been to Alpine Valley for a show.
I have not.
What makes you want to go there?
I just heard the acoustics, like how it's set up. Like it's supposed to be like just so, like there's not a bad seat in the house.
I basically lived, now, I don't want to say all of my 20s at Alpine Valley, but I spent a lot of time in the 90s at Alpine Valley for shows. It was part of my job. And I remember sitting on the big hill there at Alpine Valley, was with a group of friends. We were at a Horde festival. You know I love the acronyms. Do you have any idea what HORDE, that acronym, stands for? You were you alive in the 90s? Just kidding.
Yes, I was. No, I do not know what
You're
it
going
stands
to
for.
dig this. Horizons of Rock, developing everywhere.
Okay, there was 0% chance I would have ever come close to that.
So it was a brainchild from John Popper, the lead vocalist, the harp player for Blues Traveler.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the Horde Festival. So I'm at Alpine Valley for one of those. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones is on stage performing. They have one guy that just would dance on the side of the stage the whole time. And my now husband was part of that group of friends. And I made the mistake of sharing this with my sweet, awesome husband, Brian. I remember sitting on that hill, enjoying the Boss Tones, and I looked over and I was like, Brian is such a great guy, but I could never date a redhead. Why would I think anything like that? Why would I say that to him? But I did. And he still loves me. So yeah, it's part of my Alpine Valley experience.
Persistent.
We will be able to experience a lot of great live music at the Dodge County Fair. Kicks off next Wednesday. I know that we both look forward to doing Senior Solutions live at the Dodge County Fair.
I know. It's just crazy to think about because, maybe a month ago, you were talking about, like, back to school shopping and this. And I'm like, whoa, we're in July. But now, once we hit the fair, it's like, oh, boy, like, school's starting in a couple weeks and it's really happening.
Yeah, that reality sets in. I was just sharing with someone this past week, like the crescendo of summer always feels like that happens when the Dodge County Fair happens. And then it is back to reality immediately following all the fun at the Dodge County Fair, back to that back to school reality. Are you guys getting ready at your house? I know you had a big weekend. You were traveling last weekend for a baseball tournament, softball tournament?
Yes, the last one.
Oh, how'd the boys do?
They did well. We actually played a lot Sunday, and we ended up taking third place.
Okay, that's awesome. Congratulations to the teams and all the kids that were involved in that. That's a big commitment and a big accomplishment for them.
It was really cool because third place doesn't typically get trophies.
Okay.
But they did get trophies. And it was just a great way to end the season.
Oh, yeah.
They got a trophy because typically they just got a medal or something. So they were really pumped about that, and it was just exciting to see. So it was a good time. It was very warm.
Oh my gosh, it was like a hot box. It was crazy hot last weekend.
Yep, and now football starts in a week.
2 weeks.
Yes.
2 weeks is our first Beaver Dam High School football game. Mm-hmm. That's exciting and feels weird at the same time.
I know, and actually tomorrow the Packers play.
Good times. Are you ready?
Oh, that's...
A silly question for me to ask. If you're checking out the stream on Daily Dodge TV, Matt has his Packers gear on.
I'm excited. I love football season. So, yes, I know school's starting, but glass half full.
Yes.
Packers are starting. Badgers are starting. So it is one of my favorite sports to watch.
Okay, well, now I guess I'm excited for fall when you just rolled all that out there. I was just saying yesterday, I don't need pumpkin spice everything, and I don't need to wear my flannel. And I get sad when summer's ending.
Yeah, not a big pumpkin spice, kind of guy.
They put it in everything now.
Yes.
Pumpkin spice Cheetos that I just made up.
Yuck.
But it's probably soon to happen.
Yeah, but I mean, the best part about fall is obviously the weather, when we actually get fall days.
Yeah.
Like sweatshirt in the morning, t-shirt in the afternoon. It's exciting, and the colors and...
There's a lot.
Yes.
Should we place a bet right now regarding our time at the Dodge County Fair next week, next Friday?
We will. If you guys want to see us, we will be out at the fair live at the radio park. I'm excited for that every year because we never know what's going to happen. So it's really exciting. So if you want to come out, you can listen to us live. We will be there, and I just didn't know that people were going to be staring at us when we did that. But it's really cool. And you can just walk up and ask questions. So it's we're just shooting from the hip, kind of, and it's just exciting, and I just love the fair. I love the food, love the music. Usually it's muddy, it always rains right before, so I don't know the weather, but
right now it's looking good.
Okay.
It is looking good. And I'm wondering if we should bet on whether or not, because anything can happen, which is part of the fun. Do you think we'll have the grandstand, the main stage sound check happening behind us?
Well, we're batting 1,000. So, I mean, if I was betting, I'm going to take I think it will be. I'll bet $1 on that one. But I guess everyone said they could hear it fine, so we just
kept talking. That's what you do.
Well, you're really good at that.
Well, so are you, Matt.
Yeah.
You've got some time in as well.
Yes.
Matt Stell hits the main stage, the grandstand next Friday. So I'm betting also that we're going to hear part of that sound check. It's all part of the fun of the Dodge County Fair. We have a lot of great things planned at Radio Park in addition to us doing the Senior Solutions show live. So, folks, you can check out our schedule at dailydodge.com. Just click on the dailydodge.com. Dodge County Fair tab. A lot of D's there.
Yep, DCF. I actually, one time I think a helicopter was either coming or going.
And was that part of a demonstration?
I think it was.
It was very close and very loud. It was. It wasn't distressing in any way, but we really thought like something major was going on. I forgot all about that.
Yes, so
it's exciting.
It is, and that's same when me and Charlie were doing the show. Our game was like, "Hey, honk if you see us, or if you're listening," and we were getting some honks, so it was kind of cool. So we do have a couple listeners at least.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from those listeners. Studio line open for your questions for Matt Heiar with Heiar Insurance at 885-4446. You can also text at 887-9595. We often talk about Jill, the MVP at Heiar Insurance. She is right there on the front lines when folks call what number, Matt?
920-887-0580.
And I saw MVP Jill yesterday. I was over at I was cruising through the Heritage Mall parking lot, which is where you're not located in the parking lot. You're at Heritage Mall, Heiar Insurance, so your office is there. I have a serious frozen Coke addiction. If I'm having a stressful day, if I'm having a great day, if I am just having a day, a great day, bad day, I want a frozen Coke. So I'm cruising over there, and I was like, I think that's Jill. And she was like walking, and she came out, and I did something like my parents would too. I'm like, I yelled out the window, I'm like, Jill! And then she didn't look over, and then I yelled it out again, and then she's like, hey, here I am again. It was fantastic. She is a wonderful person, and she knows her stuff. She can also help folks when they call Heiar Insurance or when they pop into the office there at the Heritage Mall.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when, there is situations typically towards the end of the month where, we have appointments, but someone's like, I just lost my job or I'm going to lose my insurance. I need insurance for the first of the month. And that's Jill always steps up and she's like, yeah, absolutely. We'll take the appointment. And so it's really nice having that, secondary person just always to, hey, fill in the gaps if we have to.
Yeah. Anything that you would like to share about what has happened at the Heiar Insurance office this past week? Anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah. So postal service workers.
Okay. My dad was one. He was a mail carrier in Monroe. He retired from the post office.
Okay. Well, so the post office is really unique when it comes to insurance because they're federal government, but they're kind of like their own entity.
Okay.
So they have their own insurance, or throughout the years, they're just like, hey, you can keep. They have retiree insurance, so you can keep the insurance. Perfect. Well, they're telling their employees, they're like, technically, you don't have to sign up for Medicare, and that scares me. And it is. They're right.
They are.
They do.
Okay.
They do not have to, but that guarantees them they have to stick with whatever they got.
Okay, so that's the scary part. No options.
Yes. So if
Okay.
their insurance starts getting really expensive or, something, they stop doing the retiree services, well, then you got to sign up for Medicare. And there's a
Okay.
penalty then
Oh, geez.
because we have our enrollment periods. So
Yep.
if you don't sign up at the right time, it's a 10% per year penalty.
That's a lot.
It is. And that's why we called together on the phone, on speakerphone, and they were telling them that, and they're not wrong. But it's just like you really just narrowed your options to one.
Yeah, so that's your only option.
Yes, and obviously I want them to keep that because it's very scary, like for me to sign them up with something else because then that option's gone.
Right.
So it's like rocking a hard place. Like
Yeah.
I can't predict the future, but this week I had someone come in with a letter. And they started sending them out in April, I believe, but they said April 1st to September 30th, the Postal Service is kind of switching up their plan. And they said, if you sign up for Medicare, Part B, it would start by September 30th and fill out the paperwork, which I helped the people this week. And if you bring it in, that letter also we need. You bring that letter in, we'll fill out the paperwork. It's a 40B form, which is SSA form to sign up for Part B.
Okay.
Sorry.
Got it.
And then also that letter, we'll fax it to Social Security for you. And you can automatically go on Part B for January 1st. The kicker is there's going to be a penalty, but the Postal Service is going to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why this is our shot. If we want to try, and it's all from the 2022 Postal Service Reform Act.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, didn't know that either.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yes.
What all did they reform within that act?
I think they're just restructuring a lot of things.
Trying to streamline?
Yeah, and I don't think it was just health insurance. I think it was a bunch of their
Okay.
benefits. But, this is our opportunity. So if you got that letter, it says in the letter you do not have to sign up for Part B, but this is our shot now, and they're going to pay the penalty. So I would just think about it, if you want to just give us a call at 920-887-0580. We can sit down, talk about it. But I'm going to try to talk you into signing up for Part B. Just basically what's happening now on the back end of things, Medicare will be the primary payer, which that's how Medicare is designed. And then essentially your whatever company your provider is going to be the secondary, your supplement.
Okay.
So huge. I've never seen something like this before, but once again, they're their own entity. So the government's still saying they're going to penalize them, but the Postal Service is going to say, hey, we'll accept that penalty because Medicare pays 80%. So they're going to be paying first, which in the grand scheme of things, it might make things cheaper overall for them.
That is, that's a lot to have weighing on someone and a big decision to make.
It is.
Also knowing that it's new territory to navigate through.
Yeah, and that's why there isn't a right answer, but it's just that options out there. I know we've had our plan, we like our plan, and that's great. The person that came in, it was affordable for them, so there was no even talk about switching. But signing up for Medicare, if that's our opportunity to do it, I say let's go for it.
Absolutely. And if folks want to reach out, I know you just shared the phone number, but please share it again because they definitely need to talk with you or someone on the Heiar Insurance team.
Yes, 920-887-0580. Another thing this week, I shouldn't say I always hear that on the radio. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like me. But you should always read your mail.
Okay.
Because
don't just dismiss something if it looks like junk mail.
Yes.
Okay.
Because so many people, they come in, they're like, hey, I'm here to sign up for Medicare. I'm going to be 65. And I'm like, oh, perfect. And then I'm like, are you on Social Security? And they're like, no, I want to sign up for Medicare. I'm like, yes, but if you're signed up for Medicare, basically the government if you're signed up for Social Security, the government assumes you're retired. They're going to sign you up for Medicare automatically.
Okay.
And with all the crap we're getting, the mails, the phone calls, people literally save it all and bring it in.
I would love to see a stack.
It's ridiculous.
Like snap a picture. We'll put it up on the screen sometime here in the Daily Dodge TV studios so folks can have that visual, because you're not exaggerating about that.
No, and it's bad. But the Medicare card comes.
Okay.
And they think it's another junk mail, and they throw it away.
What happens when that happens?
Then we get to call Social Security and watch paint dry. So, yes, then we'll call Social Security and we can ask if it got sent out. And they're like, yep, it was mailed out on this date. Obviously, we didn't get it or threw it away. And then they reissue another one.
Does that happen often?
All the time.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have to look at our mail. And we have to be looking at these advertisements and solicitations are getting so creative.
I saw Joe Namath on TV earlier this week.
Oh, did you think of me?
I did, actually. Actually, I thought about, what was it after that one Super Bowl where he was not very well behaved. That's what I always think about now, in addition to the ads that Joe is on. And what do you think of all these ads between Joe Namath? We've got J.J. Walker on some. What do folks need to know?
Fine print. I mean, that's what we have to look at, especially for the mailers, fine print. Even the TV commercials, look at the bottom. There is so much stuff that you can't read, and neither can I, and it's up there for a millisecond. It's basically saying they're not part of the federal government or Medicare. So that's why they are claiming they are, and they're claiming they have all these plans, but it's usually just one carrier that they're talking about. So, or they're contract with one carrier, and it's like, no, we want to know all the carriers.
Yeah.
And these national commercials aren't really supporting, our local Wisconsin companies either.
Not at all.
So it's so frustrating. But the one that just came in recently, it says Dodge County on it.
Oh, okay. So is it a one-piece mailer?
It's a little one, like a little card.
Tell us what's on it.
It says Dodge County. Your phone appointment is scheduled for. And it almost sounds like they have a phone appointment. So I had someone come in. They're like, well, Social Security is going to be calling me. Why did I get this? Is this something? And I looked at the fine print. It's from like some marketing health insurance company. And you could barely see it. I could barely see it. But if you look at those, and it looked legitimate. That's why it's so frustrating, because they're sending the Dodge County, and I'm sure Columbia County for people in Columbia County.
Yeah, probably back home in Greene County for me.
Yep.
Yeah, all over.
And it's so frustrating because it's just a telemarketing service. And then if you call them, they got your number now.
Yeah.
And they know you are somewhat curious about what is on this letter.
They're going to keep in touch.
But yes, we do not give out our Medicare number. Our Medicare number is our Social Security number. It's our Social Security health ID. And with all the Medicare fraud, if we don't want Medicare to keep going up, it's going to go up. But if we don't want it to go up as drastically, we got to control this Medicare fraud. We can't be naive. We know that we don't give our Social Security number out. I almost wish they kept the Medicare numbers as our Social Security number.
Why did they make that change?
Because people were giving it out and it was but at the same time, we know not to give our Social Security number out.
Right.
We hope.
Yeah. Don't do that. So
that's where it's getting a little scary, just how, and you're always wondering, what is the big next marketing thing? So the season's upon us, but the cool mornings and stuff, it's like, it's coming. But just to be vigilant, and if they say they're calling from Social Security, hang up, call your Social Security office and they'll tell you, yes, it was a legitimate call. They called at 3:54 yesterday, just to have the peace of mind and know that you're not just giving some information to someone where you have no idea where they're at right now.
Right.
But we should probably just disclaimer it now.
This is a paid program. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of Heiar Insurance, not 95.3 WBEV or Good Karma Brands.
That was well played. Did you not look at anything?
I did not look at anything.
You've been doing this too long.
When you were talking about the teeny tiny print, and it really does, you need a magnifying glass. I thought about this. In the pharmaceutical world, when we hear those commercials, they start off with that really rapid disclaimer, blah, 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 and this and that. That's how they should start off these commercials, with Joe Namath and J.J. Walker. Just put it all up front there because that would really stop people. That's why they don't want that.
Well, and if I tried any of these marketing practices, our insurance commissioner would be at our office. He'd be like, hey, you know what you're doing. You're misleading people. But for some reason, someone's, approving these. Mm-hmm. So, because there's certain things. If you talk about Medicare, you say, oh, but I am also not part of the federal government nor Medicare or Social Security, administration. But still, just because they say that and they're following these guidelines, they're bending the rules.
Yeah.
Things Medicare doesn't cover, changes in Medicare. And it's there's not. This is going to be on the front page paper. And typically when the government makes changes in Medicare or Social Security, it's on a calendar year start date. Mm-hmm. It would be January 1st, big news coming up, and typically the laws are passed 2, 3, 4 years prior to that.
Yeah, and there's always a lot of debate when there's any type of change that they want to push forward. So it's not something that we wouldn't hear about or be aware of.
Yes, and that's why I deal a lot with doomsday preppers.
Do you really?
Oh, absolutely. They're like, I got to turn on my Social Security. It's going to be gone. I heard it's going to be gone. Or I heard Medicare is going to be gone.
Well,
and it's not their fault. They've heard it.
Yeah.
And people are saying it, and especially in a political year, it's just same with the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare. They're like, oh, it's going to go away. You can't, there's 15 million, 20, 30 million people on it. Mm-hmm. You can't just take it away. Be like, good luck, you have no insurance. Same with Social Security. If you took everyone's Social Security away, it would be anarchy. It
really would be.
So, they might alter things. They might make adjustments. I don't even think they'll do that because that's our money.
Right.
It's not our fault you're $35 trillion in debt.
No.
But should we read another disclaimer? But so that's why, we can only control what we can only control. So we just have to deal with today, and we'll figure it out from there. But I can only educate you on what is happening today, what the laws are now, how this Medicare works and Social Security works now. It's not well, yeah, you're right. You should turn it on now because in 2 years, I don't know if it's going to be there. It's going to be there, so the system is stressed right now because there's a pretty large group of people called the baby boomers.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I'm an Xer.
Oh, I'm an Xer. I'm a millennial, which that's not fair, but I don't even want to go down that path. But no, so that's where we're on the final stage, towards the end of the baby boomers. So
it's a big deal.
There's a lot of people on Medicare and Social Security right now, and it's stressing the system out.
Yeah.
But it's gonna come through. We're gonna go through this generation and keep going on to the Xers.
Yeah.
I
hope so.
Yeah.
I'm counting on it.
So, because in the 70s and the 80s, they said, we're going to lose Medicare, we're going to lose Social Security.
This is not a new conversation.
It's not it's almost like a broken record.
Yeah.
So I know it's good to be vigilant on stuff, but just because I read it on the internet.
Doesn't make it true.
Yes. So, but yeah, that's why, even with Social Security, the majority of people come in and they're like, I'm like, how long are you going to work till? 67. Oh, why did you choose that number? And the government subliminally tells us that you get your full retirement at 67 if you're born 1960 or later.
Yeah.
But does that have to be the why?
I don't think so. No, you can blaze your own trail.
Well,
and that's really what is at the heart of how you help people at Heiar Insurance.
Absolutely. That's why, we run some certain tests, like the widowed spouse test, and then also the income limit test. And if it makes sense and we create an income plan, wow, it sounds so much better at 65, doesn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
So and it's your book. You know, you write it. We just guide it and read it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Did you make that up?
Kind of just did.
That's good, Matt. It's your book.
It's Good Friday.
Say that again.
Oh, gosh, now I got to remember it. It's your book. You write it.
We'll guide it.
We'll guide it, and we'll read it.
I know we can go back and listen to the show on the audio page or, the video page, but I'm writing that down, okay?
I can't remember it a third time. But no, and
that's
it's just so, like, we don't know. We're not guaranteed tomorrow, and it's just been a bummer year.
Has it?
We've lost a lot of great people. Not celebrities, like I'm just talking clients.
Yeah.
And just had a lot of, we do have a lot of widowed spouses coming into our office and, a lot of diagnoses. And it's terrible.
It's so personal.
Yes. And it's, you feel for them and you feel helpless and there's nothing you can say or do. And just how people react to it differently, and some people are accepting, some people are distraught,
Sure.
and I'm distraught trying to keep it together,
I bet.
So, but yes, it's just been a bad year for just a lot of like, this happened. It's like, geez, like
the hits keep coming.
yeah, like
Yeah.
they were just going to retire or they just started Social Security, and it's like, so what are we waiting for? If, we're not guaranteed tomorrow, our day's picked out. So if it makes sense, we do it. And retirement is a word.
It
does
is a word.
not mean that it's the last time I punch a clock because the biggest fear people have in retirement,
Running out of money.
well, yeah, but it's actually staying at home with their spouse.
Shush it.
I'm serious.
What?
They're like, what
Come
are we,
on.
They're like, what are we going to do? Like, there's no way we could be at the house at the same time.
So, being with your spouse is more of a worry than running out of money in retirement.
Believe it or not, I hear it all the time. And I kind of get it too, though, I'll be like, wow, like, my wife would just follow me around and just call me a slob all the time. And I'm like, no, you have OCD. I feel like I'm tidy, not
Tidy.
quite like her, but yeah, like, and I get it. Like, how did we do this back in the day,
Yeah.
And so I could get that, but so some people like might get a part-time job for their sanity.
Sure.
Get
Get out of the house. Stay
or-
busy.
Yes, vacation fund. Retirement's not like to the lazy boy.
No, although you can get some nice ones at my Kinstreet's Home Furnishings. We were talking with Sandy earlier. Yeah, we can get. You don't have to have the big puffy recliner. You can get the slim kind of designer one. We need these. We need those here in the Daily Dodge
I
TV
said I want that.
studios.
And if we could do headsets.
Oh yes.
Because then I could like lean back,
I'm liking this. I've never been a gamer, but all of a sudden I'm like, is that what a gamer feels like? You got the headset on, you're like kicked back in your gamer chair.
Yeah, kids ruin games for me.
Have kids, they said.
Yeah,
It'll be great.
It was like, oh, what should I do? Play video games? Now it's like you have a kid, it's like, well, actually they play it, so.
Yeah, I don't do that. When you're sharing that it's been a hard year, just, people with losses and, what you do is so personal, helping people plan for retirement, helping them choose the right options, for Medicare and their insurance. There's like true sincerity with the Heiar insurance team, that sincereness of really wanting to help people and really caring about people. And, when you have folks in for that first conversation, that has to be so exciting to get to know them and to hear about what they want to do in retirement or what their insurance needs are and finding that fit for them.
Yeah, no, it's very, I don't know. I know I'm a talker, but I'm at a loss for words. I'm stuttering and I'm trying to just keep it together because it's so frustrating. And they're losing their best friend, 40, 50, 60 years, which is a rarity nowadays, people being married. But I just couldn't even imagine. That's why it's so hard for me to say anything and say the right thing. And I don't know if it's right or wrong. And I'm like the awkward person at a funeral.
Oh, that's you?
I just don't know how to react.
Are you putting the Pez dispenser on my knee at the funeral?
Well, no.
Okay.
I haven't had a Pez dispenser since I was 6. So, no.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, I would try to say a joke and don't do that.
It's how your nervousness comes out that
Yes,
way? Okay,
yes.
that's okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so don't invite me to your funeral. But
Okay, no.
no, but it's really tough, and it's just it stinks because they are kind of like part of our family. Like we see them 2-3 times a year at the office, and then potentially throughout the community, Jam by the Dam, the fair, or something like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it does get personal, even if you try not to.
Yeah.
And it does affect you. Like like I went home after lunch, and I just like.
You feel heavy?
Yeah, and you just kind of contemplate life. Like, did I just complain I was having a bad day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I do.
And that's why like life is so serious, and it's like we can't be that way. It's we gotta take every day. We can't take it for granted, and so easy to say, right?
Yeah, it really is.
But we live in a fast-paced world, and that's where. Yeah, insurance, I mean, we should have it, yes, and retirement, we should work on that, and estate planning, absolutely. But, I mean, there's a lot more important things also. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we just put blinders on, and, it's like Tuesday, baseball practice, this, and swim lessons. And
Gotta go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's nice to sit down, enjoy family time, set your phone down. Mm-hmm. Once again, easier said than done, but... Yeah. At the same time, we just have to cherish what we have, because, I mean, what we have in this community, there's a lot of places that are not like this. So
no, and I've been enjoying Dodge County along with my family now for 6 years, and we like it more with every year that passes because we're discovering more things about it and getting out more, and it's really wonderful. There's so many things happening. We just had some guests on Hometown Today in talking about the Reeseville Corn Roast event that's happening tomorrow, and that care, that commitment to community, it's alive throughout Dodge County. It's thriving.
Yeah, it is, and that's why it's just nice to get out there and help with the community. Which actually, the corn roast for the chamber is coming up.
It is. Do you have the date in front of you?
Is the 28th?
Hang on.
It's a Wednesday.
Hang on.
I will be your bartender.
It is the 28th.
Oh, nice.
So that is one of those big community events. You're bartending. Paint the scene for us.
So
I've never been. I have a ticket on my desk.
You've
I
never
know.
been? It's the longest running event in the chamber, right?
And it usually lands on open house day for my kids for school. And my youngest is starting middle school, so it's a big year for her. And it's the same day as the corn roast, so I won't be able to make it this year.
Yeah, you will.
Okay.
Yep. Open house is like 45 minutes. There's your locker. This is your classrooms. All right,
I like it.
Do you want some corn and brats? Unlimited. Let's go.
How much corn can you eat? How many brats can you eat?
Oh, geez, that's a Wade question.
Is it why?
I mean, because
does it depend upon how many beverages you have?
No, not so much of that. I just graze.
Okay.
It does get really busy, but what is it? All you can drink, all you can eat.
Yeah.
And I don't know the pricing.
We'll pull that up.
We're
apologizing to Shannon and Tracy right now at the Beaver Dam Chamber of Commerce.
If you're listening, Tracy, please call it.
And our studio lines are, of course, open for your questions for Matt, 885-4446, 885-4446. And you can also text at 887-9595, 887-9595. Matt Heiar with your Heiar Insurance team here on Senior Solutions. You have such a great job helping people with things that they really need help with. And I like how you're so reassuring. You are such a good listener. But people aren't expected to know how to get through all of these things.
No, it's not. And that's why, we just take it step by step. But that's why utilizing like Rob and stuff and just like, planning for the unexpected, like making sure there's beneficiaries on banking accounts. Because if there's not, then checks go to the estate of, and then you can't even get in. You can't take money out or put money in. Mm-hmm. Like little things like that where, I go to a local bank. They know who I am. They know what happened, but it's just protocol.
Yeah.
And so we have to make sure that we have beneficiaries. We have contingent beneficiaries. What is that?
My head was like, what?
Oh, if you could only see Amy's face on that one.
But they can on Daily Dodge TV.
Yes. But no, it's just a secondary beneficiary.
Okay.
Because obviously we live in a marital state. Typically, your spouse is your beneficiary.
Yep.
what if you guys both pass away in a car accident?
I don't know. What if that is where did you say contingent?
Yep.
Okay.
So, or secondary.
Secondary.
Yep.
Okay.
Whatever you'd like to call it, whatever paperwork, this company has. But yes, I mean, that's huge knowing that, then they can have access to it. You could put your kids on your guys' joint banking account. You don't have to tell them.
No. Oh,
But
gosh, I would not.
Yeah, well,
I just fibbed to Millie about something earlier today.
Yeah, but that's where, they wouldn't know, but they could go and deposit money, take money out, and the bank wouldn't be like, no.
Yeah, just make it easy.
Yes.
And actually, those are things that some of my family members already have in place, because you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you can't take care of things. Like, oh, this isn't ready to go, so now you are stuck in the process. And every second, you just get frantic when you're in a situation like that. Every second matters.
Yeah, it really does. And that's why, any steps you do is better than nothing. It's just like estate planning talks. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Life insurance. We talked about it.
How it's important, why we should get it, why we need it.
Yes. And that's why, and like with life insurance, it's got to make sense. That's why you have to fill out this thing. It's basically a capital needs analysis, showing your debts, your incomes, your checking accounts, savings accounts. And it's not like trying to pry into it. It's like, does it make sense for you to have life insurance? Because so many people, like half the time I talk people out of it.
Really?
Yeah, because
they don't need it?
Well, if you have no debt, you have a funeral trust, or you have enough money right now to pay for a funeral if one of you pass away, why do you want it?
It's money you could put towards other things.
Well, we're not trying to retire.
No.
On life insurance. We
No.
don't want you to use the life insurance.
No.
It's just yes, should I have a lot more? Yeah, I have young kids, I have debt, so I don't want my wife to have to move.
No.
So that made sense, and I just did, a term policy, which typically is cheaper.
Okay.
Not what the commercials say.
Okay. What did the commercials say?
Well, I just had someone call me, and they're like, I called this commercial, and they, $1 million coverage
for 25 cents a day.
Well, it's for $10 maybe a month, $20 a month.
Sounds too good to be true.
Well, maybe you could see that, for a healthy person, whatnot, younger person. But at the same time, they're saying without a physical.
Oh.
So, and we've had a rough few years after COVID that, these underwriters are very strict.
Okay.
You
don't mess with the underwriters.
No, they're the hamster wheel actuaries. And like, I think our life expectancy rate actually lowered.
Really?
I think by
That's
a
not
year.
good.
So,
okay.
I mean, nothing to move the needle, but you got to check that up. Fact check.
Yeah, I'm going to fact checking.
Well, no, and that's why they're really getting, strict. And they've always been strict. I've never had great relationships with them. But at the same time, those commercials are saying, like, with no physical. And typically, yes, there's a paramed that comes out and draws blood and does a urine sample.
Okay.
Does blood pressure, height and weight. That's how we get those rates. And it's free to do that. We can try it. And if we come back, because everyone always says, give me a quote. It's like, well, I have no idea what the underwriter's going to say.
Yeah.
So I could show you it, but I could be lying also.
Yeah, it's not realistic, anything you can count on.
Yeah, so basically we just fill out an application, paramed calls you and stuff, and then they're like, yes, they're select preferred, they're ultra preferred, they're standard non-tobacco. Then we get your rate. Okay, so now here's what we can do. Here's a 10 years, a 20 years, a 15 year at this rate. And it's factual information. I just don't like giving people open-ended, like, well, it could be this for less than $20 a month. And then the fine print at the bottom.
Yeah, and basically kind of cancels out like all the great things that they're saying to suck you in.
But you called.
That's right.
And that's why we got to understand how marketing works and how people sell your information. Why do you think you're getting all this information right now when you turn 64 years old? You're a year away from Medicare. Why are they sending you stuff now? In the state of Wisconsin, we can only sign you up 90 days prior. So why are they sending you stuff? Because someone is selling your information. And it's not illegally selling it.
No.
It's like search engines and whatnot and all that higher level stuff that people get paid a lot more money than me. But it's happening, and we have to be vigilant of it. And that's why, yes, everyone's got the best product. trust me, when you turn 64, I'm not joking. I call people celebrities because you feel so important that year. You get all the stuff.
I don't know why this hasn't hit me before, because we mentioned that magical age of 64 probably during every Senior Solutions show. It just hit me. I'm 10 years away from that.
It's the final countdown.
It really is. You keep telling me I have time. I have time. But yeah, that's a reality check too.
I mean, I guess it's like everything I'm saying right now about Medicare could be completely different.
It really could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we can only control what we can only control, right?
Yeah.
We're worried about today.
That's right. And it's also important to have those conversations. Like, even if, someone wants to make that appointment, come in, have a conversation about what they currently have. Maybe they've experienced a big life event, or they think they have a better option. Just set that appointment with Heiar, head over to the office, and you'll talk about all of it and really explore like what those options are based on what their situation is, what their goals are.
Yeah, and absolutely. That's why, like, Monday, it was doomsday.
It was?
So the market was, down.
Oh, that's right.
Dow was down 1,100 points. Everyone's calling me, like, oh my goodness.
I bet your phone rings off of the hook.
But
What?
not too bad.
Okay.
Because I didn't do my job then, obviously, educate and be like, here is the plan. We have plan B if this happens.
So you should simmer down.
And we need to zoom out and look at the big picture. Okay. So we can plan for the future, but worry about today.
Oh, I like that. I'm writing that down too.
Gosh, I'm like...
You're so poetic today.
Yeah, I should have. Like,
plan for the future. What'd you say? Live for today?
Worry about today. Live for today sounds way better.
Okay. We'll listen to the playback.
Maybe I read in a fortune cookie.
I still remember one of my favorite fortunes. This was years ago. You can't be lost if you don't know where you're going.
Very true.
Or if you don't know where you're going, you can't be lost. Something like that. So I'm not going to write that down.
Because I already know that.
That's right. Matt Heiar with your Heiar Insurance team with us here today in the Slumberland Furniture Studios and the Daily Dodge TV studios for Senior Solutions. When it's time to retire, call Heiar.
Absolutely.
And when it's time to talk about your insurance options, what the heck all the stuff is in your mailbox when you're getting set to take those first few steps on your Medicare journey. Really call Heiar, reach out, set that appointment. They're located right here in Beaver Dam at the Heritage Mall. Jill, the MVP, is standing by at what number?
At 920-887-0580.
So I didn't see what she came out of the McDonald's with yesterday. She didn't bring treats back to the Heiar Insurance office for everyone?
I think she just gets like black coffee. I mean, she's always like, I was like, oh, I saw you, because I see her walking too.
Yeah.
She just walks.
I love it.
She works out. I mean, she makes me feel so lazy.
Oh, because she's Sporty Spice. That's
Yeah.
what I thought yesterday, because she looks great.
Yeah, it's, see, a little
It's
ambition.
inspiring. Yeah. But no treats.
Next year.
It's all good. What else would you like to share? We have about 5 minutes left. Actually, 4 minutes. I think. How much time do we have left in the show? I should probably check that.
Typically, don't we go to 55?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Because we got to have the farm babe on.
We do. The fabulous farm babe, Pam Yankee.
Yes.
One of the few people that calls me kiddo, and I love that. I worked with Pam for a handful of years in Madison, and who knows, she might be swinging by the radio park during the Dodge County Fair. She usually does that when she's in town.
All right.
Which is great.
Is ESPN going to be there?
Yes.
Cool.
And Wednesday is our sports day.
All right.
So definitely come on over for some sports trivia on Wednesday, our sports day. Sparks, who's producing Senior Solutions, had hooked us up with some info, and I was sharing this earlier on Hometowns Day. Do you think you'd be good at Wisconsin sports trivia?
I think I'd give it a good shot.
All right, well, give it a good shot. You'll have the opportunity to do that next Wednesday during the Dodge County Fair at Radio Park. Swing on over, because Wisconsin Sports Trivia will be happening from noon until 6. And this is your time to fill out a 3-question sheet. And if you get all of the 3 questions right, you have a chance to win 4 tickets to the Brewers game on September 20th. And we'll be drawing for the winner at Radio Park at 6 o'clock. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
And with the Brewers being in first place, September 20th, that's towards the end of the season. That could be a very important game.
Yeah, it's super exciting. We'll be at American Family Field tomorrow night. Family's going to celebrate my husband's birthday, and I don't know if I'll. I'm already trying to decide what I want to eat. That's always a big decision for the two of us.
I
when
know.
We're there.
Maybe we should like plan that because we're always just walking around like
We wander.
one more lap.
And then we ended up getting sushi, which really was very good.
It was.
But even my youngest daughter, who's 11, was like, "Really, you had sushi at a ballpark?" So, the tummy wants what the tummy wants.
Well, and CK got some. We all got something different, so we all were sharing.
It was great. It's part of the fun.
Yeah.
You're part of the fun. You make planning for retirement and exploring insurance options, you make it make sense. And you also make it fun. Looking forward to having fun with you next Friday at the Dodge County Fair.
Yep. Who knows what will happen?
Share the number at the Heiar Insurance office, please.
Absolutely. Just give us a call if you have any questions on Medicare, retirement, or life insurance, long-term care, or not just anything. If you want to talk, 920-887-0580.
All right. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you. This has been a paid program. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of Heiar Insurance, not 95.3 WBEV or Good Karma Brands.